What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this is me showing how to make a modern house. This is the 91st installment of Modern House, and man oh man are we close to number 100. Here it is in all of its modern housiness. Yep. I don't have a whole lot else to say about this other than, yeah, I'd say this is one of the better ones. I was trying to build a different one earlier and it wasn't working out as well as this one did, which is good to see that this one worked out. But yeah, that's all I have to say. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial and I will catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so these basically going to need for this a 31 by 22, and the materials we need, they're very minimal. They are smooth quartz blocks, black stained glass panes, generally like the simplest house I've ever made. Black stained glass, I was gonna look because I feel like this is similar to one that I kind of forgot to check. Dark oak doors, and gray concrete. That is all you need, 5 materials. Now, I would recommend, or I wouldn't recommend it, I would say that if you want, you could use night vision during this. It's not too hard to work on the gray concrete, and I don't know if the night vision is gonna help. I just think it's gonna help for definitely like dark areas, because the gray concrete, it's gonna be probably in a large quantity, and it's kind of hard to do it with that. So, yeah. But what you want to do is you want to come to the front left-hand corner of your 31 by 22 grid and we're going to start from this corner. You want to, from this corner, go backward diagonally to the right by 1, and going right, you want to place a smooth quartz block, 6 black stained glass pins, smooth quartz block. By the way, before we keep going, I just want to say there is no garage, so if you want to add one, I would advise doing that. Probably on the back left somewhere along this wall. Right here's left side. Anyways, from the right side then of this row, go back with 2 smooth quartz blocks, right with 4 black stained glass pins, smooth quartz block, 4 black stained glass pins, smooth quartz block, bring it forward by 1, then go back to that back block, and you want to bring that right with a black stained glass block, 2 dark oak doors, whoa, that was weird, black stained glass, smooth quartz block, forward with a smooth quartz block, right with 5 black stained glass pins, smooth quartz block, back with 5 black stained glass pins, smooth quartz block, left with a smooth quartz block, and then back from that inner one, this one right here, with 12 smooth quartz blocks. But we're not done there. You can just connect that back right-hand corner left and then forward, but I'm going to give you the numbers because I actually know them. Bring the smooth quartz block here left by 27. And then forward by 18. So that way you can make sure all of your numbers are correct. There's the size of the house. Figure out if you want to extend it or add any more or anything like that. This is going to be like a 15-minute video. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was going to be that short. Because I kind of sped run this. Okay, hang on. Actually, I'll show you after we're done. Because I was designing a different house and I didn't like the way it turned out. It is finished. So I will show you it, and I would like some opinions on it at the end. And to see if I should still release it as a modern house, which would be number 92. What you then want to do is you want to copy that entire pattern 2 more times, except instead of dark oak doors, you want to do nothing for the first row, and on the second row, you want to place black stained glass blocks. Very, very simple build. You don't get much simpler than this, if I'm going to be honest with you here. As far as modern houses are concerned, this is the simplest you'll probably get from me. I went from a very... The thing is... I'm going to be honest with this here, I'm going to be blunt about it. If you're building a house or anything, and you start off by having to make lots of structural changes, little structural changes about the way that it looks, scrap it and start over. I realized that when I was first making the other modern house, and I scrapped the design and tried to go with a different one, that one I went all the way through, and I was still having the same issue, and it didn't turn out. But at least for me, I mean, it's like it's okay. I just can't tell how much I like it as a modern house. But like, if you scrap it and try and a different idea that's maybe not even that different, just slightly different, it's gonna end out better most of the time. That's I'd say is my biggest tip is just make sure that you kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Make sure that you realize when there's a design that you're trying to build that you're having too much troubles with to the point where even if you get it done, it's not going to be up to the standard that you want it to be at. I've gone through this many times. Sometimes I try and push through it, other times I don't. I tried to make a different restaurant once, never released it because I made the front of it and it looked terrible. And I was like, okay, yeah. That was when I made Mitas, and I made Mitas that day instead. That one turned out way better. What was the other thing that I did, I feel like, recently? Papa John's I tried to do, put it off for ages, came back to it. Something I did with the school, actually, I put it off because I was trying to make it way too big. That's also another thing, size and stuff that you want to consider. But what you want to do is you then want to place a row of gray concrete on top of that entire thing. So yeah, just kind of keep in mind where you are and be a little bit aware, be sort of aware about how your build is coming along and whether or not it is at a good or in a good or a bad place. Just like that. Then you want to bring that gray concrete. Okay, this is where it's going to be weird, actually. I just realized something. So I want to do something really quickly first. Come to your doors, the front door. By the way, I'd recommend adding a back door. I kind of didn't because I was like, I'll just make the back flat, whatever. I'm too lazy for this. But you have this little row of smooth quartz blocks that sticks out here with the gray concrete on top. Bring that gray concrete right by 4. Just like that. Now what you can do is bring every single gray concrete out on each side by 1. And then make sure that you have sharp corners and not dull corners. If that doesn't make sense, that's a dull corner. You can see how the smooth quartz is essentially diagonal from being just out into the air. It's like 1 pixel off, instead of where it's like this, it has to go through that entire block. I know it's a really weird way to explain it, but essentially just make sure that you have all right angles as corners. It looks way better if you do it that way, and yeah, that's just me. I mean, that's obviously a personal opinion, but it is up to you. So this is kind of where I was talking about the night vision at the beginning. It might be useful after this, because then what you want to do, this step is optional. I'm going to say this step is optional, but it's going to make it 20 times easier to do the top floor. Now, I did it originally without doing this. So, and then I went back and filled it in, but I would recommend doing it. It's going to be a lot easier to work on something rather than through the air. So what I would do is I would fill in this entire roof here in with gray concrete. You could totally leave your build as this if you wanted. It's up to you. And if you wanted to be 3 stories, go ahead and add a 3rd story in the same fashion the 2nd story gets added on. You can do this as many times as you'd like, obviously. I wouldn't recommend doing it like 20 times, because then it's going to be really dumb. I'd recommend doing no more than 3. I think 2 is a good number, because it's not quite too tall, but it's not too short either. Like, you'll see it, it's going to look too short, because it's... if we're going based off of Minecraft dimensions, this would be a 12-foot tall house. And the roof is 3 feet of that. So, not quite recommended. We turn a 12-foot house into a... Or no. Yeah, a 12-foot. 12-foot house into a 24-foot house, which is a lot more reasonable. But that's still shorter than the average house, actually. Considering the house that I don't actually know how tall my house is. Because we can just instantly assume that, okay... Bottom floor, or main floor is about 8 feet. Ceilings, 8.5 probably. Top floor is about 7. That's 15 feet, we'll say. Plus the roof. Actually, no, it'd be probably, yeah, it'd be more than, I guess it depends. 24 might be right, actually. You know what? I'm curious on this now as you finish filling in the... How tall is the average suburban house? Suburban house. Let's see if I get a measurement here. 2-story house with average height ceilings 9 feet high is about 20 feet tall. Really? Factoring additional footage from the depth or thickness of the floor and space above the ceiling. Up to 2 feet in homes with drop ceilings. This does not include the height of the roof and any ceiling modifications. Okay, so this is about right then. That was just got a little nerdy for a second there. Okay, so like, yeah, that seems right. That seems about right. Average is 20 plus roof, which is probably another 10 or 15 in my guess. I don't know. I'm not good with feet and numbers and stuff like that. I'm okay with numbers, but not with like dimensions and stuff. So what you want to do is you want to come to the top of this, and now you have a nice flat surface to work with, and you want to come to the back left-hand corner. Count forward diagonally to the right by 1, and moving forward, you want to place a smooth quartz block, 6 black stained glass panes, smooth quartz block, 6 black stained glass panes, smooth quartz block. Then moving right, you want to place 2 black stained glass panes, leave a 1 block gap, 2 black stained glass panes, and a smooth quartz block. So this gap is, you can see, it's a door. Magic. You could add a door in the doorway. I wouldn't just recommend just doing that because they aren't going to stick to that. So if you want to replace with blocks, maybe. I would just leave it open though. That's my personal opinion. Then move back with a smooth quartz block. Right with 4 black stained glass panes. Smooth quartz block. Back with a smooth quartz block. Right with 5 black stained glass panes. Smooth quartz block. Forward with 2 smooth quartz blocks. So now we're back at the same Z, is that? Yeah, Z coordinate is the other side. And then in similar fashion, you want to go right with 2 black stained glass panes. Leave a 1 block gap. 2 black stained glass panes and a smooth quartz block. Then from there, go back with 6 black stained glass panes, smooth quartz block. Move right with 4 smooth quartz blocks. Okay, I thought that was, never mind, that is right. Then back with 6 black stained glass panes, smooth quartz block. And then go across the back with what should be 26 smooth quartz blocks. Just like that. So there you go, there's your shape of your build. You still have more space, so if you want to go bigger on that, you can, definitely. I tried to actually sort of leave it open-ish, because we have a balcony at the front and at the right side. I just decided to leave it open, because I did it that way, honestly, and then I just kind of left it that way, and then brought it across there. It was kind of weird, but I think it's fine. Then what you want to do is you want to copy that entire thing 2 more times, gaps and everything. And yeah, again, I told you it was gonna be a very short video. It's only longer because it's a pretty large building, if I'm honest. I mean, it's not like huge. It's not like Sam's Club size, but I mean, it's still like a decent size in comparison to what is pretty average for a modern house. I'd say it's like, it's definitely above average, but it's not like gigantic in comparison. I haven't really made a modern mansion. I mean, I had the one recently that was about, probably a little bit larger than this, and that was probably one of my favorites. But, yeah, we're almost at 100 modern houses as well. That's kind of crazy. But, yeah, also, I do have a ton of suggestions in my, or not suggestions, those are just ideas. The ideas recently have been kind of pouring out, and, there are a lot of ones, all of them are ones that I have yet to do, or ones that I just did, obviously, so it's going to be a lot of not remakes, but that I think is going to make it harder at the same time, because some of them have long names, which is usually when I have struggles. But, yeah, hopefully I can get most of those worked out, because, yeah, I did the, thing like a week ago, where I posted the teaser on Discord about a bunch of names. They keep getting added on. I just added one to that, bubble today. And I'm removing them every time I build the build, so it'll be interesting to see how it grows over time and whenever I add them. What you then want to do is you want to place a row of gray concrete on top of that entire thing, or I guess a section or a line, a not very straight line. A geometric shape with how many sides? Uh, let's not count that. That's too much work. Make sure you do place it over those gaps as well. Those are important. Like that, you can see how that is. And this is going to be a lot easier than the bottom floor was because it's less confusion. But it is also floating. And then what you want to do is you want to bring the gray concrete out on every single side by one. And again, make sure you have your right angle corners and no diagonals. Diagonals are bad. Usually. Except for sometimes. I need to use circles more in modern houses. That's a weird thing to say in a blocky video game. But, because I can make circles, and I need to make more of them. I tried to do something on that house over there. You can actually see it. It's right next to this one. Right next to that original one of this. Then what you want to do is you want to film the ceiling of that, or the roof of that with gray concrete. This one isn't really optional, and you kind of have to do this one. Unless you're adding a third story, then go for it. But, I wouldn't recommend using gray concrete as your floor and your ceiling, or in general for either. Well, I guess probably the second story ceiling because of how it just works. But, I'd recommend changing the gray concrete below to whatever you want your floor material to be. I was going to mention that earlier and I forgot. I apologize. But, that is something that I would recommend keeping. I would keep in mind if I were you, just kind of what you want your floor material to be. Because I don't really think you want to have a concrete floor in your bedroom. It's not fun. Not that I would know, but you know, that would hurt if you fell off your bed. Like really bad. That would really hurt. So yeah, there you go. We're actually not done yet because we have one thing to do. So you want to connect the front left hand. You want to connect the front left smooth quartz pillar to the front right smooth quartz pillar along the top floor. I don't actually know the numbers of the panes. Let me see if the image that I took actually, because I have an image. Okay, it sort of gives me them. It gives me them enough. So what it is from this front left one, I would bring it forward with 5 black stained glass panes. Then right with 7. Back with 2. Right with 9. Forward 1. Right by, I think, 7, yeah. And then connect back. Just like that. That's how that works. Just a little balcony. If you want to extend this, like this side out, and then connect it back there, you can. I just figured I'd connect point A to point B because that seemed like a fair idea. But yeah, you have this space over here. Like, you can do whatever you want with this space. I don't think it's bad leaving it empty necessarily. I think it kind of gives the house a little bit more of a shifted look and not as perfect, which is sometimes what you want. But like, you don't want it to look like it's following itself, obviously, because the numbers I just kind of realized are sort of similar. It's 5, 6. 4, 4, 5, 4, and then 5, 4 again. I mean, they're sort of similar. But I obviously light up the inside, because it looks kind of bad with it dark. I don't like that very much. But, yeah, once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your modern house, the 91st installment complete. But I did not forget, I do want to show you this one. Give me your guys' thoughts on this, because I can't tell if I like it or not. Looking at it again, I think if I remove this upper layer, I think it'll look better. But I was trying to add the upper layer to add a little bit more to it. Or maybe change it to something else. I'm not sure, but I'm really having mixed feelings about it. I think the top layer is what's screwing me over with it. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Yeah, I think it'd be better without it. Well, it doesn't look bad from ground level, which I guess is kind of a good thing to look at too. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on that one and this one. Make sure to label them, obviously, if you're talking about which one. But yeah, I do need tips on the other one if you guys have any ideas on how to fix it, because yeah. But thank you guys so much. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.